My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Monster Train 2 for the brand new year! 2026. It's a new year, new me, new streak that we'll be starting. I don't know why. It couldn't have anything to do with the Pyreborn combination on the screen and me losing 2 times in 20 minutes in an episode I tried to record a couple of moments ago. It couldn't have anything to do with that. It definitely didn't feature alchemy. Anyway, time for us to learn our lesson and use alchemy only a whole lot. Only constantly. That should keep us safe. 2 flash freezes in the base deck, dealing 3 damage and 8. Frostbite to the back line, Strix and Hallow, Archeon, Savagery, interesting. Nameless Siren with 2 alchemies in the base deck, as well as the Pyre of Savagery. We have a lot of meta things that we're supposed to do each fight with that. Incant triggers an additional time offered to you at the very start of any Stygian run. Should probably be the thing you take. For that same reason, I'll also take Conduit so that I have much more ease playing more spells. Merchant of Steel Stygian bodes quite well for us. Obviously, dualism, but I can also just get incant armor for the Nameless Siren, and you have dualism by base because you're double getting your incant. Ideally, I get to play both alchemies in this battle. You know, ideally. Gotta get a bloated whelp on top line because of the collector that could have spawned there, but didn't spawn there. Oh, but this bloated whelp in the midline, thankfully because the collector doesn't have Titan skin, we'll still be able to collect it. Hell yeah. Bottom line, you can take alchemy, then cast. I think we'll be able to get away with this. I'm gonna alchemy. Oh wait, actually that's gonna be really different. I should have cast the remaining spells on the floor above that. I wasn't thinking about the fact that I had to conduit. Still do exactly the same thing. And this one was on this line. There we go. So I can go loaded whelp, frozen lance, spear steward. Yeah, that's the most amount of damage I can do on that floor. The rage high as long as I possibly can, and sure, we're going to take a little bit of higher damage here, but it could be much worse. Oh, hell yeah, we actually get to the point that the enemy only takes 1 hit from our pyre as well. Grand. So that's kind of what it cost for me to get the 4 Dragon Sword, but if I can get 4 Dragon Sword in the first fight and another 4 in the second fight and loot an 8 before Archeon, it changes the trajectory of the entire run. Crypt Builder, a little bit hard to play in this instance. Cuddle Hex, just throw you on a random line, allow you to keep card for me. Yeah, especially with the Alchemy, I think you're a much more useful pick than I otherwise would have consumed. Considered, rather. I thought of consume because I'm looking at alchemy that says the word consume on Lava armor. Especially if I'm thinking of getting like a dualism frontliner, because if you get incant armor and dualism. Yeah, I'd rather upgrade an alchemy I already have and then dupe that. Save this. It's got to be Stygian first for every single reason under the sun. There's the incant gain 2 armor. Oh, capacity smidge though. Disgusting. I think I'm supposed to go armor, Nameless, Siren, and then capacity. And then I dupe that Nameless Siren 4 times. I put 4 Nameless Sirens that are both gaining 4 armor and 6 rage each spellcast directly in front of Tethys Titanbane, and then I upgrade our spells so that we can get through the first couple of rounds. Unfortunately, it means I miss out on getting dualism, which is actually kind of heartbreaking. An alternative comes to mind, which is Titan Sentry gets the large stone. It gets thrown on the bottom line just so that we have a way to deal with AoE at speed. That is to say, to deal with enemies that deal, sweep damage to us before they deal sweep damage to an important line. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's actually the play. So you get smidge stoned. Sorry, smidge stoned. You get large stoned. Wait, hang on. I'm doing both of the plays at once. Oh, right. Didn't think about that. Because I was going to possibly smidge stone the Titan Sentry, but there's no really good reason to do that here. Look, if I could give dualism to the Nameless Siren as well immediately, I'd be all over it. There's not an option in the store right now, buddy. Yo, hold up, buddy. -1 energy per turn. That's going to stop us from playing our alchemies, and that might have contributed to a recent loss. I don't know. I don't know, okay? Don't ask me. I wasn't even there when I lost the last run. That's not on camera because it was that bad. I was somewhere else at the time. I was on holiday. That'll do, right? Cuddle Hex, 1 bloated whelp, couple incants, drop the Vengeful Shard. I gotta remember not. Wait, no, the Empire of Savage. Well, that's unfortunate. You don't want to draw both of the alchemies in the same hand because it makes it very hard to get both of them to go off, but thankfully, I got someone looking out for me. Got a Cuddle Hex that'll help me keep the alchemy for the right turn. Hell, I don't even have to play it right now. I can get rid of this calcified ember. And I'd love to. Yeah, so we'll definitely be winning on that next line. So I can kind of thin down my active play deck a little here. Yeah, because if I solved it last turn, I would have missed out on dropping a Vengeful Shard from hand, so I would have taken 1 damage. Very, very little difference. Mollusk Mage, Crypt Builder, Energy Siphon. I do like the idea of actually getting to use Energy Siphon. I don't have any spells that really justify it right now, but it is a 0-cost spell. That's an incant trigger. Yeah. Yeah. Because all of my dupe spaces are going to have to be the Nameless Siren, so maybe Alchemy is actually a card. When an enemy unit descends, they gain Fire Gel 2. This is very useful for us. Unit cards without upgrades cost -1. Other than the Stewards, I'm not going to play anything that fulfills that condition. Look, I'll take a Forgotten Name. It never really feels like it has an impact. When you play your third spell of a turn, all cards gain +1 magic power for the rest of the battle. Never really feels especially impactful. Higher remains health. Merchant of... Yeah, it's definitely not the Merchant of Steel. I mean, Void Armament obviously has quite a lot of appeal. Inferno Room as well. Just deploying an Inferno Room on the bottom line saves like 95% of what Titan Sentry would have to do. And allows me to set up my incants much higher as well. In fact, right now I could even go Titan Sentry, Nameless Siren, and Tethys as the second line. Damn, that sounds really good to me. Void Armament would be incredible for getting some multi-strike on the Nameless Siren, so I can project your damage much further, and obviously multiply your damage. But if I took both Inferno Room and Void Armament, I would spend most of my money here, but I also wouldn't be able to then deploy the Inferno Room, which is pretty important to me. If it's not deployable, then Titan Sentry shouldn't be on the bottom line. Or should be on the bottom line. I'd only have to go to one more Merchant of Arms. Ooh, which does have a dupe next to it. Okay, never mind. Decision made. I'm going to another Merchant of Arms in the future. I'll be doing all of that then. Let's look at the Social Alcove first, in case you want some of my health. You do want my health. Yay! It worked! Reduce fire to 1 health. Gain the Unstable Shard. Friendly units get +5 damage and +12 health. And then I will elect to heal the fire back up 15. Yes, that has her. Ooh. Yucky. This guy's going to be dealing damage to us. How dare he? I have to set up this way at the moment. I legitimately believe I only win this fight if the Nameless Siren has multi-strike. So I'll give you that immediately, and then just cast every spell I can on your floor to try and make sure that you do not die. You simply must do not die. I'm gonna do everything exactly the same, but I'm gonna place the Nameless Siren in a defended position. You still need that blade, buddy. Believe it or not. Not great, but I think that's by far the most aggressive line we're gonna have to face. Play the spell and then freeze the world. And then literally for safety, I'm just gonna chump block with Bloated Whelp. Yeah. This is much more the kind of result I was expecting, you see. Pyroclasm. I mean, that's hell of a card to increase spell weakness with. Attuned Explosive does 150 damage. I have a lot of expensive spells in this deck already, though. That's a problem. Stygian Synergy. Sorry, Ancient Synergy, rather. 3 times the amount of... Or 3 times damage for 3 times the amount of spells in your deck. I'm going to get more spells. It hits multiple times. All of those are nice. I'm still going to take the Pyroclasm and figure out how to make that one work for us. Gold Kellia, Guard of the Unnamed Greed Dragon. These don't feel relevant. I have my sweep. 2 different ways I have my sweep covered. I have someone who's already much better than Guard of the Unnamed in just a single Nameless Siren who's gaining 4 armor rather than 6 armor. And 6 rage as well to compensate. Greed Dragon, theoretically possible. I could play it, deep into the battle after I've already generated as much shield as I will. It's just not often a thing that I really care about. Generating a Greed Dragon late in the battle. I only have like 2 lines until... I'm going to go energy as well. Yeah, no, I'm going to skip all of these. I'm going to take energy here. Thankfully, I can loot because 7 and 8 only allow me to just choose my artifact and gives me 25 more gold. So looting at 6 is completely fine by me. Yeah, not when I have hidden coffers, though. Then I want to loot it. Actually, what is the number you want to loot at with hidden coffers? Neat. Wanderer's Talisman at the start of turn. Friendly units gain +5/+5 if they are the only friendly unit on the floor. Definitely need to visit Merchant of Magic. Spell check. Holy Stone. Wow. Pyroclasm's cost is already going to be reduced by 2, courtesy of Conduit 2. Soul Smelter. I think there's like an argument right now that I take Sacrificial Chamber, I use that for the bottom line, and then I make Inferno Room available to deal with Seraph Eternus Chosen of Savagery, because I don't necessarily need it before then. I'm already generating enough hordes, so yeah, Sacrificial Chamber, and then I'm going to Spell Chain one of the Alchemy and decrease its cost. I'm going to Holy Stone the Pyroclasm, and just anytime I cast it, I just get to enjoy that. +10 magic power, I don't think it's impactful enough to really warrant the cost right there. Yeah. Titan skin should be okay, given our bottom floor is the Titan Sentry. Void Armament, Sacrificial Chamber, and perfect. This actually couldn't be better. Cuddle Hex gives me the ability to hold the other Calcified Ember, so I get to burn both of them. So would this heal me for... Okay, it heals me for the full 4, even if I cast it for its cost-reduced version. That's really good. Just gonna get rid of the Bloated Whelp. I think that Bloated Whelp just got a Slay trigger for extinguishing itself. Fine Sentry, you didn't get a second upgrade, right? I just gave you the Lodestone? Great, yeah, Endless is possibly in your future. Energy Siphon, Alchemy, Alchemy. Then I'm gonna Cuddle Hex this Alchemy. Big Pyroclasm. I'm very obviously going to have to play Alchemy anyway. So just do that and then we're fine. Frenzied Swarm. Apply dazed 1 to your enemies and discard your hand. Also, Titan's Tooth, it would only cost 1 on the second floor. That said, by the time units get to the second floor, the Titan's Tooth is less relevant to the enemies. Frenzied Swarm is nice, but because I'm freezing cards in hand, it's less valuable because I'll occasionally have to discard a frozen card from hand. Let's just take a Crystalline Seed, see what I can do with that. Dragon's Breath is actually really good for this as well. Fanning the Flame deals 3 damage to a random enemy unit on Slay. Increase damage permanently. This is nice. This is nice in certain circumstances. The only problem being that, like, again, most of the AoE is going to be done on the bottom floor, away from where Fanning the Flame would end up being played. Likely. Whereas Dragon's Breath is very deeply discounted. Yeah. I mean, like, I'd like another minor Pyroborn artifact, but I loot this. When he gains Pyrogel, it gains 1 additional stack. Huge. Oh my god, and Jack Strips? Well, that's my AoE. Units gain 3 Pyrogel when they ascend, and then they take 6 piercing damage because there's Jack Strips. Let's deploy... So I've got to make Inferno Room deployable at the end of the game, but right now, I think Sacrificial Chamber is the right choice. I also think I'll want Echo Vault eventually. I think we're also probably deep within the period where I should start removing cards from the deck, including the Shield Stewards. Especially the spear stewards. Okay, before I continue, let's check out the event. Yeah. Yeah, this is really important. Had melee weakness 1 and spell weakness 1 on strike. Maybe that's what I should put on the Nameless Siren rather than damage and corruption. It doesn't need more of that. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna give you strike for melee and spell weakness. Then I'm going to dupe you. Welcome to the deck again, Nameless Siren. And then continue removing cards with renewed vigor. -1 energy per turn doesn't prevent me from playing things. I got an energy relic. We're okay. Chomp block with a single bloated buff this floor, yeah. Someone to take the corruption damage. Not really getting many fights where the bottom line is getting that many kills with the Sacrificial Chamber. It'd just be nice if I did. Yeah, this one's unfortunate as well. Loaded Whelp takes the top. Frozen Lance, and then I get to cast 1/2 of my alchemy, and then I just have to watch the other half fizzle. I don't even get to play Pyroclasm this turn. Ah! It would have been so good. I mean, if Echo Vault was capable of doubling an alchemy for us, it'd be incredible, but I don't have any alchemies in my deck other than this one, so I'd have to play Echo Vault and then just hope to get the right one back later. Oh, no, wait, hang on. I literally have the Cuddle Hex in hand. Hang on. Let's go to the top of this turn. I'm 100% double playing that one. So glad I haven't played a Void Armament yet, because this floor is currently losing. Okay, we're all good. I really need my spells to come out faster. Frostpiercer, apply Frostbite equal to half the damage dealt. Very good for relentless phases. I feel like that's probably not really going to be our weakness. That said, if the first one is dealing damage and then the second and the first one's given melee weakness to a target, then the second one would deal double damage. And then the Frostbite applies Frostbite equal to half the damage dealt. So it's just straight up damage. Another argument would be discard. I don't really have a good way of discarding Guardian's Amulet, unfortunately. Finding a way maybe to decrease its costs. No, I feel like it comes out of just casting more spells more quickly on that floor. I'm gonna take the Frostpiercer. I just have a feeling it's gonna be relevant. Payoff? Greed makes a lot of sense in the world where I am playing an Inferno Room bottom line, because it's just a free card play down there. Payoff makes a lot of sense in terms of Pyre of Savagery is very weak, so you need to keep it topped up on full health as long as you can. I will take that. Shell for Cuddle Hex, giving some armor to me. When you play a spell, spells in hand that cost less, or reduces 0 cost for the rest of the turn. Yeah, that's huge. Kinstone Totem's also pretty good. When a card is discarded before the end of your turn, gain 1 energy, but I'm not really playing any discard cards. Give me a Split Anvil first. With this amount of money, Pyre Remnants over there, everything is leading me to the Merchant of Trinkets. Spirit Breaker's Charge is probably not good enough to take here. Overgrowth Carapace. Yeah, I mean, a Nameless Siren getting 20/20 around isn't bad. I feel like I've got much more equipment than I have units that can hold it right now, but I will have more Nameless Sirens in the future. I don't think any of these are worth the money they ask for me at the moment. The Spirit Breaker's Charge giving negligible damage. In this run, not saying that 5 is no damage, I'm saying that, you know, like, unless I cycle all of my Bloated Whelps on the same line, which is 5 energy and 5 draw, to get 25 damage on all of my, like, if my run already had a bunch of abilities in it, this would be incredible. Expanded Coffers, let's do it. On deployment phase, discard any number of cards and draw that many, not relevant. Tethys' Scales, 50% of my units, my enemy units, rather, have spell weakness when they enter the train. That'll make them a lot more vulnerable. You got an incant trigger, buddy. That's annoying. Yeah, it's probably play pass off for... I get much more out of the incant than you do. I could have frozen pass off if I really want... payoff, rather, if I really wanted to. I think that's much more important for the alchemies. There we go, hit double alchemy on the line. Set up this alchemy to be duped in the future, ideally. Bristling Seeds clears that bottom line for us. I'm actually going to play a Bloated Whelp here, and then I'm going to explode you, so I don't have to... so I don't have to deal with any damage being dealt to my Nameless Siren. And also give 3 shields the entire floor. Yeah, that's enough to save it. You freeze a... It's got to be the Void Armament. I'm going to need the damage later. But all I have to do is double play Alchemy on this floor, and I get up to 10. Unfortunately, I'm still pretty far away from the 13 I ultimately want. Oh, Alchemy has to be the last thing I play on this floor. Do I want to give up Pyroclasm? It's so good right now. I wonder if I might be best served by dropping the Pyroclasm on the bottom line this turn. Oh no, wait, I literally can't. I have to drop the Dominion's Eye to do it first, and then by that time I don't have enough ability. Okay. I mean, as many incants as I can get on this floor. It's the right amount of them. Oh, right, I forgot about my whole jackstrip situation that was going to clear that line for me. Yeah, I get way more stats out of this than you do. You even give a bunch of healing to Strix, and it's still far better for me to cast. Ugh. I mean, if I Pyroclasm you, it's not going to have anyone else that can Pyroclasm. It's fine. It has something else it can incant at the end of the turn now. Beautiful. Tome of Contracts. Reduce units cooldown time of by 1 to a minimum of 1. Cuddleback's freezing every round? Not bad. I can definitely make use of that. It's got to be draw. For every reason under the sun, this one's got to be draw. First turn, 2 extra energy. Spells gain +3 damage for each upgrade on that card. Huge. Non-banning units have deployable. So I've been thinking about this the entire time. Because removing all the bloated... Specifically, I've been thinking about this since Nameless Siren was offered one of the upgrades. Summon a friendly unit from the deck. I could have had that on 2 Nameless Sirens and then had them summon units from the deck. But the thing is, they're mostly going to be summoning these bloated whelps. I want those bloated whelps dead. I want them out of the deck. And then as soon as they're gone, oh boy, I'd be able to play Cuddlex in the opening as well, which is lovely. But, like, is that enough of a reward? Same with Titan's Claws, reducing the cost of something to 0. It's huge. Absolutely. Saves me a bunch of energy on the second turn. I definitely need energy. But Winged Steel literally draws cards, and I just told you I'll do anything for draw in this run. Really do need some additional draw still. Merchant of Steel, I mean, Merchant of Steel, buddy. At this point, the Titan Shark does really need Endless, or it needs to move line. Merchant of Magic has a dupe spot, so I have to go there. I do think spell chaining another alchemy, given that I'm full 13 Dragon Sword, is probably a good idea. I don't think any of these are better than rerolling negative consume. Holdover. I mean, a Pyroclasm that costs, you know, 1 to cast on the second floor each turn is really good. It also heals us for 4 every time I do it. I'm going to remove one of the alchemies so that I can cycle it through a couple of times, but it shouldn't be the one with Spell Chain, because the one with Spell Chain, I need to be prepared to play twice in the same turn. Removing cards from deck. Again, that's just going to be bloated blobs. Empyrean Well for the Nameless Siren that has more damage on it from permanent damage gain from Pyre of Savagery Slays. And yeah, we just go all the way with the Conduit on this one. So next area has one more dupe if I want to go for the full Titan second floor, the full Nameless Siren second floor, which I do. With the amount of additional draw that I just got, on average, I'm going to be drawing 2 extra cards a turn. I really should be able to increase their incant speed high enough that that's ridiculous. Oh, this is great. Purified Souls literally don't leave the bottom line. They gain 3 Pyogel, and then they take 6 piercing damage as they ascend, which overwhelms their 1 health. Oh, ridiculous. Echo Vault first turn with a double alchemy coming out. I'm going to use Crystalline Seeds just to gain some more money off online and then do that. That. Double the alchemy trigger. Sure, I can block some damage on the bottom line. Wow. Oh, I'm going to get the full 13 in this battle. That's another draw rolling for me. It likes to freeze the Pyroclasm so that I can cast it on a better floor. You there, then Lash Freeze you just to get another incant. Oh no, hang on. I can't just errantly cast things against my own units on that floor. I'm going to be doubling the spell that I cast on that floor. Okay, yeah, definitely not going to be doing that then. Okay, so Pyroclasm, for both its Holy Stone and also for the Split Anvil, is considered to be higher cost than Alchemy, even though I cast it for 1, but Alchemy was 2 cost, still got reduced. The second copy isn't though. That's okay. So I can double cast this Pyroclasm against you. Which, actually, I don't even need the additional health that could have provided, so I'm just going to cast these other 2 spells just to cast them, basically. Color Mage, you now, every round, have the ability to keep a card for me, so why don't you keep a Bloated Well? Energy Siphon sets up Pyroclasm. Keep a Lava Armor here. This is just about cast as many spells as I possibly can. Beautiful. Sadly, can't do anything about the Pyroclasm. I want to cast it on the Chosen Presto. Yeah. I'd have to use the Energy Siphon to help set that up, though. I gotta burn out these calcified embers. Long beyond time where we should be doing that. Love it. I can incant as much as I'd like. You die way too early to worry about that. Give me a single smite of the Stygian. None of those are needed. And loot! Outfall 13! Units get +3/+3 for each upgrade on the card. I do like that by default. Just a little bit extra size. Highborn Insignia for Conduit on lines that are equipped. I'll take Fireforged Solace. Probably going to go Pireborn Energy after this as well. Merchant of Arms, Empyrean Well. That was the direction I was originally going to go. Do I do it? So, Merchant of Arms, Empyrean Well. Really, what am I doing over there? I'm duping Nameless Siren again, which is incredible. I'm making deployable the Inferno Room. And then I'm probably even cutting the Sacrificial Chamber from the deck because I don't need its money anymore. I don't have another opportunity to spend it. -3 deployment energy. I don't want to do that. Hex cost cards and cards that cost 3 or more have Permafrost. Ridiculous. So many of my cards are that. I will say Odie Sodom's really bad for us, but no, it's really bad for us. I'll take the Gel Transfuser, which is unlikely to be relevant, but just in case. Does seem to summon a Whelp in each floor. No, don't care about that. Don't care about spell cards. I'm probably going to be removing a lot of cards from my deck right now. Oh, incant. Deal 1 damage to enemy units. It's going to do a lot. I'll take a copy of that. I'm going to make the... That probably just goes on Tethys. Make the Inferno Room deployable. We'll dupe one last Nameless Siren. And then I think the rest of these are just straight up removals. Get rid of as many of the whelps as possible. There are so many cards that just shouldn't be in this deck. The deck will only get better for discluding them. Do I want to combine 2 equipment cards into 1? Lava Armor, Growth Carapace. So... not really? Like, the frontline unit wants to wear both of those, but the frontline unit is not going to be growing anymore because I don't have the additional capacity for it to see. Which means what? Top line Titan Shark probably ends up wearing both of these. No. Spells with Consume, 50% chance to be scarred instead. Probably not great for me. Apply 2 spell weakness units to enemy units that get to the room below the pyre. My spells are really expensive up there, but that additional spell weakness... the only spells that I have that do decent damage, I can't really afford to cast on the top floor. I'll take it anyway. I think it's probably the most likely to have a positive impact on us for any of the things related to the rest of the way I could have spent my money there. That's not me saying it will have a positive... oh, I should have read this. That's not me saying it will have a positive impact. That's just me saying it's the most likely of them to do so. Now, here's the question. I think Titan Sentry goes top line here, because that'll get Seraph to focus you on the first turn. And you won't die into the first hit. It'll give me some time to get some incants on the second line. Echo Ball huge. Puddle Hex is really nice to have as well. Alchemy will be our dupe, which actually lowers the cost of Flash Freeze, enabling me to cast this on another floor. Oh my god, we have enough health for Nameless Siren to survive. I did not think that was actually possible for us. I actually still don't really understand how it is. What the? Oh! I understand fully now. I always miss... so... it's going to cast Pyroclasm again at the end of the turn, which is going to kill the frontline enemy, which is going to prevent them from being able to kill the Bloated Whelp, revealing the Seraph damage to Nameless Siren. But unfortunately, that happening is actually really kind of annoying for us. So I do want to be duping Alchemy, but just have to dupe it on a later turn. So there we go. There's the additional Nameless Siren. Go at the back of the line. Dragon's Breath. Lance. Plasm. Frozen Lance. Pay off literally just for the cast. Then Alchemy, and that one's gonna get duped. No reason to give Frozen to a Vengeful Shard. Okay, we have enough health on our frontliner that it was capable of... Oh, wait, no, it just took the melee weakness. Great. Oh, spell weakness 3 was used there. It's probably fine, to be honest. I'll have spells to cast next turn. Literally, I will have Iconoclasm in hand. I'm already going to be casting another Alchemy at the end of this turn anyway, so... I guess the reason to still cast it anyway is because... Oh, actually... I don't want to give another card Frozen. No! It's just cast as many spells as possible. I'm just gonna big sap and frostbite you. Oh, that went straight to the win. That's okay though, because we have our full 13 Dragon Horde. Dragons and Whelps have 8 more damage. Oh yeah, we're running out of relics. It makes sense that these are the final ones for us. Taskmaster's Lash. Then I was going to go Pyreforged Light so that I have the option to still get Overgrowth Carapace buffs on a Nameless Siren. But I'm going to take Energy because that's such a small difference. Especially versus the fact that, like, I want to be able to play all of my units in the opening now. They're doing the big hee-hees. Okay. Absolutely must echo the void. For no good reason whatsoever, I'm going to make sure that I have the full 13 Dragon Sword by the time I leave this fight. Simply because I want to, you see. With Pyrelight and the ability to double it from Echo Vault, I do have the ability to take down Dominion very early, so having a Frost Piercer to amp the damage on this line is going to be really useful. Although, as it turns out, I needed a couple more spells than I am currently using here. Because we'll be losing one of the Nameless Sirens in the front. Oh, actually, before I play that, I'm gonna zero cost that anyway, by just playing more expensive cards. Gotta remember the split and full benefit. I don't need to dupe every Pyrelite, especially because I've got the Pyre of Savagery, which starts with a huge amount of damage. So, like, yeah, Dominion's almost dead already. Truly ridiculous. So I can get away with double Alchemy instead. Because, yeah, it's still just one more turn for Dominion. Most of the HP of Entropy is gone right now. Savagery won't survive 3 turns time coming back. So yeah, it looks like we're going to win on wave 5. Yeah, I can't really get it much sooner than this. Let's use Plasm to clear the floor. That also lowers the cost of all of the things in our hand, which is really good for me. There goes Entropy and Dominion this turn. So yeah, again, it's just Savagery that's going to be ascending. And then I'm going to heal 26 health. 26 full health. Huge payoff. Twice. That'll do it. Oh, 5 times spell weakness. Pyroclasm almost kills you by itself. I mean, it will just kill you at the end of the turn, though. 1,728 damage from that Pyroclasm, and then just at the end of the turn, you'll take the rest of it. Although I could just straight up cast you out as well. No, I think it's more fun to let it happen at the end of the turn. Got him! Ooh, that's a fun kill screen when the Pyroclasm FX is running over the top of everyone dying. New year, new streak starts. I would have shown the end of the previous streak, but it was really, really dumb mistakes to the point that, like, it's not especially interesting to watch and kind of embarrassing. You know when you click something wrong and then you only realize a couple of rounds later, and by the time you realize a couple of rounds later, everything's awful? Yeah, that kind of thing kept happening to me. My brain just wasn't online yet. I tried to continue the streak without drinking coffee. That's the mistake I made. I've got a second coffee in my hand. This one is working. The first one was evidently faulty in some way. Must have been empty. No, must have been decaf. That said, win streak now accrued. And a little bit more money for us at the very end. Come on, you couldn't let me loot the final 13 Dragon Horde, turn that bonus a little bit higher? That's going to set us up for our new streak, which I will explore continuing in the next episode. Until then, though, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game is being Monster Train 2. Top left. This is a series playlist for all the content of the game, past, present, future, YouTube recommendations. Down below, streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Thank you. And special thanks this episode to Disney. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully see you all next time.